welcome to the Evolve with Emily show. I'm your host, Emily Hayden, and you are listening to another Monday message. Every single Monday, I bring a message of the day to you guys. So here's today's message. And the message is that I'm kind of going through a lull or it feels like an off time in my faith. And I want to talk about it because I feel like this is something that more people should talk about so that other people can realize that sometimes it's just a part of the journey. You know, I'm very open about my faith here, and people have commented saying they're so thankful that I share those kinds of things on my podcast and in my YouTube videos. And I love sharing that journey with you guys. It's been such an incredible journey and adventure, and it's been so incredible. There's so many moments where I feel like, oh my gosh, like God is speaking directly to me. And I feel like I'm on this like mountaintop, version of my faith, right? It just feels amazing. I'm seeing God everywhere. I'm hearing him everywhere. And then there's times when I feel like I can't see him and I can't feel him and I don't feel like he's speaking to me. And I wanted to mention that because I think it's just such a good example of the journey of life that we go through. It happens in faith. I feel like it happens with certain relationships. I feel like it can happen in your business where, sometimes things are amazing and they're the best ever. And then other times it feels like, things are off or you feel like there's distance. So I want to talk about that in relation to the faith journey, just very briefly for today's message, because what I hope to do is one, just let someone else on the other end of things to know that you're okay if you're going through that. You don't have to question yourself or question everything, and know that God doesn't love you any less, and he is always with us. I don't know if I've ever told anyone this, but I guess I'm about to tell thousands of people across the world. But I have this tattoo, if you guys are watching on YouTube, and hopefully you can see it on my hand. And part of what it says is I am with you. And it's something that God spoke directly to me. And man, I'm so glad that I have this tattooed on me because I've really needed this reminder a lot recently. Because it's just one of those moments where the feeling is that he's nowhere to be found and he's nowhere around me. That's how I've been feeling, because I just feel disconnected. I feel distant, but I have to, anytime that I have feelings, I have to revert back to truth. So I go from my feelings and I say, okay, but what is the truth? What do I know to be true? And I know to be true that God is with me and he never leaves me and he never forsakes me. That he will be with me and carry me through everything, even when I don't know it. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's a picture and it's been on Instagram and stuff a lot, but it's essentially this picture saying God, where were you in that hard moment? And it shows a beach with footprints and it's just 2 footprints. And then you get to the picture and it's God carrying that person, and he was the one walking, carrying that person. And so sometimes I think that we lack the perspective to see God in our low moment, and not that I'm in a low moment personally, but just in my faith journey, I kind of feel like I don't feel as connected. And that's hard for me because all I want is to feel the most connection. God is the most incredible God ever. And that relationship is so real and so tangible. And so for me, when it doesn't feel tangible, when I don't have that point of connection or that touch or that, that thing that I'm talking about, that feeling, right? It's hard, but I know the truth. And the truth is that it is real. It is tangible. It is with me at all times, regardless if I can feel or see it or perceive it. So, what I do in these low moments is I just keep showing up I show up in the form of feeding my spirit in all the ways that I know to do that, right? I look for the truth in God's word. I look for the truth in messages that I come across. I surround myself with other people that can build me up in that way. One thing that's really incredible when you're going through a low moment, especially in your faith, is getting around other people of strong faith who can kind of carry some weight for you and say, hey, I know you're struggling or you're not feeling really connected to your faith right now. Let me pray for you. And just their prayer alone could be something that could really help you in that moment. So surrounding yourself with other people that they can kind of lend you their faith, so to speak. I've been through this a few times in my faith journey. And so I know without a shadow of a doubt that God is here. He's around me. I even I'm able to see him in my work and such. But for some reason that very personal, intimate, behind the closed doors, the connection that, I don't show anyone or speak of, that feels distant. And I know that there's probably purpose in that. I think one of the ways that I've recognized that God has grown me previously is by changing those points of contact to encourage me to seek it out more, to possibly find a new way of contact. You guys, we would be crazy to think that we've got the God thing figured out and that, by praying and doing this and doing that, that we can just always access him whenever. Like, yes, he's always there. He's always listening to every prayer. But maybe sometimes he kind of takes a few steps back and to encourage us to take a few steps forward so that we don't always stay there. I think that just like in life, we seek to evolve. I think God is like the ultimate creator of evolving. And I think he wants us to evolve in our faith and in our relationship and in our friendships and everything. So it would make sense why he would want us to evolve in our faith and not always stick to the same, things that are currently working. Sometimes you got to try new things. Sometimes you got to step out a little bit more and go do something out of the ordinary or open yourself up to him in a new kind of way. And so I just really vulnerably wanted to share that because I feel like there's probably some other people that may be judging themselves for not feeling as connected. And so I hope in this message to release yourself from that judgment. Release yourself right now in this moment from that judgment. Say out loud, say, I forgive myself for judging myself for being disconnected to my faith, or for feeling disconnected to my faith. Remember, because feelings are not always fact. Feelings are valid, but they're not always fact and they're not always truth. So you may feel distant, you may feel disconnected, and the truth is God could literally be right next to you. Like, just so you know, I'm literally right here. Ask today, just ask to see God in a new kind of way. Tell him, say, I feel distant, I feel disconnected. Can you reveal yourself to me in a new kind of way? I'm really needing that. And God is such a good God. I really feel like he'll answer that request, especially coming from such a genuine and a pure heart that truly just seeks to know him deeper and more. So I hope that message hits home for some of you guys today. I hope that you're not feeling that way, but if you are, you're not alone and it's okay. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of the process. Don't give it up. Keep pressing in and open yourself up to new things in new ways. Maybe instead of doing your quiet time at home, maybe you actually need to go for a walk and sit at the park bench and do your quiet time outside in nature. There's all these little different things that you could do. So look for new ways to change it up. Know that you're not alone and know that sometimes this is exactly what is required for you to grow. And maybe where God wants to take you next, maybe it's just a completely different dimension that you would have never expected and that you're also not going to be prepared for if you go in carrying the same things, if you go in operating the same way. Maybe he needs you to operate a different kind of way than you've ever operated in your life. And that's why he's causing this pattern interrupt. Maybe that's why you have this pattern interrupt that's happening. So trust the process. Even though you can't see him, even though you can't feel him, know that he's there. Trust the process. Know that he's got you more than anyone else. I always say on the show, like, people will say, oh my gosh, I needed that message. Thank you for saying that. And I'm always like, I got you. But like, the truth is God's got you, because I don't know anything, right? I don't really know anything about your life. So if something is like hitting home for you, or like it's that, exact message you needed at the exact time, I really do believe that it's God getting that message to you, whether it's through a podcast or an, article or someone's Instagram post or a comment from a stranger. God is so good. He gets the message to you exactly when you need it. So just recognize that and even count that as a form of connection. Sometimes you think you're not connected and you're feeling distant because you're not feeling and seeing him in all the ways you're used to. Open up your eyes and say, okay, I know that you're here. I know the truth is that you never leave me and you never forsake me. So open my eyes. Let me see with new eyes and a new lens to be able to see the goodness of where you are in my life and where you're taking me. And then at the end of the day, just choose to trust. And why would you trust? Because he's literally better than we could have ever even imagined. He is trustworthy. He will always be there. He will always provide for you. He will always help you. So even when you don't see a way, trust that he's already paved the way. And he's a few steps ahead saying, you got this. Don't stop. Don't give up now. You're almost there. Let's go. If we turn this corner, your mind is going to be blown. Come on, a few more steps. So I hope that helps you guys today. Today, I just also wanted to let you guys know that if you watch on the YouTube channel and you're new, what's up? I appreciate you guys so much. We had a recent influx of subscribers there. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you'll stick around, watch some more episodes on the show. Don't forget that my music here on the Monday Messages are done by Kramos. Kramos Music, you guys can support him on Spotify. He just had a new song release. So the way to support him is by going on Spotify or wherever you listen and download, stream, support, like, share the song, create a reel on Instagram to the song. I actually did that on mine. It's a really dope song. You guys should check it out. I'll actually link the song below if you guys want to check that out, but make sure to support him because I just really appreciate all the work that he does here for the Evolve with Emily podcast and also my coaching program, Evolve X. If today's message helped you or inspired you at all, made your life 1% better, then consider sharing it with a friend, sharing it on your Instagram stories, tagging me, letting me know your feedback, and I hope that you guys will come back for another episode. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.